Teachers, are you tired of constantly having a disruptive class? Are you tired of students never following directions? Are you tired of your students always throwing paper? Are you tired of your students showing up nicely dressed just to throw paper and show their disillusionment with the system? Are you tired of your students constantly tying you up, throwing paper at you, and recording it on their cellular devices? Do you wish students would stop chewing gum and being on their phones in class? Do you wish your students would stop bullying each other? Do you wish your students would stop bullying their fellow blonde classmates? Do you wish those fellow blonde classmates that were once bullied would stop turning into bulliers and gossipers themselves? Do you wish your young students with uncomfortably placed watermarks would start focusing on their school instead of worrying about more age-appropriate things like playing outside? Well, Classroom is the thing for you.
My name is Anne Marie Mabel Buford, and I was a teacher for many years in our district of Merkaville, and I taught elementary art back in the 70s and 80s, and I was so good of a teacher, they moved me up into that administrative position, and they put me into accounting. But very recently, I was moved into the head of behavioral control. You know, in my new role, I got to visit classrooms, and I ain't been in one of those in decades. But I was noticing in these classrooms that all these things that I implemented, you know, I was the first one to bring those social contracts to our district and those today statements. I saw them happening in some of the other districts around, and I decided that our district needed to try it too, to see if we could get these kids to get interested in school. But I was walking around and I was noticing that they didn't seem too interested. It's almost like the things we wrote on the papers wasn't influencing them at all.
Classroom is an app that is very similar to Canvas. You can assign online work to your students. But the way you assign work to your students is more like TikTok, to make learning more accessible. Classroom is beloved by teachers of all ages.
Is this thing on? Did I start it yet? Alright, I'm gonna learn y'all today. Gotta teach y'all. Okay.
Hello everybody, good morning. Today we'll be talking about
Classroom.
But when I was walking around in these classrooms, I was noticing a lot of those kids were on that, what's that, tic-tac? They were on that tic-tac. They don't want to get off it. So I was like, I think what we should do is we should try to speak to them in their language. You know, stop trying to fight the phones and just embrace them. So when I would walk around the schools, I was hearing these kids say things I've never heard before. But I thought, you know what? It is a different generation. So maybe we try to talk to them in their language. You know, stop trying to push all this stuff on them, you know, proper grammar and all that. Let's just talk to them in their language, which is where I came up with the name Classroom. It's classroom with yass in the middle. Ain't that good?
We asked the teachers of Merkaville how they felt about Classroom.
Okay.
It's fine. I guess, but I don't know.
This is the stupidest thing our district has ever done. I don't even know why we're doing this. The only thing this teaches kids is that they don't have to be disciplined. The world will just change to accommodate them.
Classroom.
You know, I created this program about 2 years ago, and it's been an implement for our district for about 1. So, I actually have our annual reports so that we can see if it was really effective. I am so excited to look at these with you. So we got quite a bit to look at. Let's start with this one. See what kind of good news it's got. Are these real?
Classroom.
It says that kids in 6th and 7th grade can't read. Am I reading that right? Okay. oh Lord. They don't know how to spell basic words like window and piano.
Classroom.
I tell you what, I always thought we paid the teachers to teach. That was their job. And then I'm hearing that kids can't read. What are these teachers teaching? What am I paying them for?
Classroom.
What have I done?
Classroom.
What monster have I created?
Classroom.
You know, I always had that suspicion that it was those damn phones. It's almost like when you put a screen in front of somebody, they stop thinking.
Classroom.
I tell you what, I'm beginning to think maybe it's the whole system.
Classroom.
That maybe there was a fundamental problem with the way we've been running things for quite a while.
Classroom.
I'm beginning to think it's time to get rid of those phones.
Classroom.
And all this technology stuff, all of it. We don't need any of it. Whatever happened to good old pencil and paper?
Classroom.
I tell you what, I think it's over. There ain't nothing we can do now. Is there? Well,
Classroom. The perfect tool every teacher needs in their tool belt. Miss Buford would like to thank her good friend Schmagda Hernandez of Irvine, Tejas, for inspiring her to create such a revolutionary piece of technology that is changing the lives of teachers and students alike in modern-day education.